De Nobili believed the only way was to Hinduize Christianity. He abandoned his missionary cassock and wore a saffron robes, applied a tilak on his forehead, wore the sacred thread, janev pehna unhone. Slowly invited the people. He even claimed to possess a lost fifth Veda, Yajurveda, which was nothing more than Christian theology disguised in Sanskrit. Namaskar friends, I welcome you all to the digital media of Uday India, and today in Bharatiyata Ka Sankhanath I will speak about the caste politics. As you know that every time anywhere Rahul Gandhi goes, whether in parliament or in his rallies, constantly he will have a great thrust on caste census, and caste census has sparked renewed interest in caste practices not only in Hinduism but also in Islam and Christianity. That is what I want to tell you. Friends, we have already, in fact, I have discussed many times about caste classifications in Islam in one of our episodes. But today we will explore caste politics in Christianity, which is really interesting. Caste politics in Christianity. Yes, we are all taught that Christianity has only two major factions: one Roman Catholic and other is Protestant. However, in India, caste dynamics also play a significant role. And recently, a group of Dalit Christians from Tamil Nadu's Kumbakonam diocese approached the Supreme Court seeking a ruling on caste-based discrimination allegedly practiced within the Catholic Church. And this came after the Madras High Court's Madurai bench dismissed their plea. J. Dos Prakash and other scheduled caste origin churchgoers have alleged discrimination in Kottapalayam parishes ceremonies, fund collection, council appointments, and burial rites. Just think about it. The roots of this discrimination date back almost half millennium. The church's inability to convert upper caste Hindu frustrated Francis Xavier, the 16th century Basque missionary in Goa. Xavier was so exasperated with both this and the new converts' refusal to abandon Hindu practices that he urged Portuguese king to send the dreaded Inquisition to the Indian colony. The Inquisition arrived in 1561 and remained for 2.5 centuries. Imagine Xavier responsible for the massacre of thousands of Hindus in Goa is still revered in India. So too is Robert D. Nobili. You know about Xavier, right? He is very popular. But do you know Nobili? Let me tell you about him today. In 15th century, southern India, a European missionary pulled off one of the most deceptive conversion strategies, disguising himself as a Brahmin to spread Christianity. He even wrote a fifth Veda and integrated caste into his church. Today, he is honored with statues, colleges, and schools in his name. This man was Robert D. Nobili. In 1605, Robert D. Nobili arrived in India with an intense desire to spread Christianity. Imagine he was sent to south to Tamil Nadu. However, there was a major problem. Despite decades of missionary efforts, Indians were largely resistant to conversion. Why? Back then, Indians looked down on Westerners as an uncivilized people. They ate meat, they drank excessively, they rarely bathed. As a result, there were derogatory called parangi, a term for the Portuguese. How? Then could they accept foreign religion? That was a problem for them. So, De Nobili believed the only way was to Hinduize Christianity. See their conspiracy, how systematically they have make inroads into our Hindu community. And his first step was to reinvent himself as a Brahmin. He abandoned his missionary cassock and wore a saffron robes, applied a tilak on his forehead, wore the sacred thread, janev pehna unhone, shaved his head so that he should look like a Hindu, living sikha, ponytail, ate only vegetarian meals one a day like other Brahmins. That was his plan. He moved into the Brahmin quarters of Madurai and then hired a Brahmin scholar and mastered Sanskrit, Tamil and Telugu. He became the first European to study Hindu texts and was deeply impressed by Hindu philosophy. After thoroughly studying Indian traditions, De Nobili restarted his mission and very cleverly rebranding Christianity through a Hindu lens. God, Brahman, salvation, moksha, grace, prasadam, parts of Bible, Yajurveda, church, Kovil, temple, pastor, Rajguru. But this was just the beginning of his deception. Friends, why I am telling you all this history? The reason being, our young generation must know how they made inroads, how they spread Christianity. Fabrication of narratives, if you will see, De Nobili intentionally presented Christianity as a lost Indian tradition. Imagine. He told the people this was a lost Indian tradition, which was not true. Just one among Hinduism's many spiritual paths. The Hindus who followed him were unaware that they were converting to another religion. Imagine. They believed they were merely being initiated into a new Hindu sect by a Brahmin guru. That is why I told that he became a Brahmin, he became a guru. Then he slowly invited the people. He even claimed to possess a lost fifth Veda, Yajurveda, which was nothing more than Christian theology disguised in Sanskrit. He even baptized his own Brahmin guru to legitimize his teachings. And what was the further trickery? The churches he built resembled temples and deliberately avoided European symbols initially. Converts were allowed to retain Hindu practices like applying tilak, performing rituals, celebrating festivals and wearing the sacred thread, as long as they avoided idol worship. He even Christianized the sacred thread ceremony, Upanayan Sanskar, where the three threads were reinterpreted to symbolize the Holy Trinity and incorporated a Christian cross. And one must know his version of Christianity. What is that? His churches segregated upper caste converts from lower caste converts. Separate churches, separate burial grounds, separate entrances. So, lower castes were excluded from the church management and discrimination continued. His target audience was, unlike other missionaries who focused on converting lower castes, De Nobili specifically targeted Brahmins and upper castes. He believed in a trickle-down effect that once the upper caste converted, the lower caste would follow. Imagine the conspiracy. However, the church hated him for adulterating their faith. In 1610, 1619 and 1623, De Nobili defended himself before church authority by arguing that the early church had adopted Greco-Roman culture and rites to spread Christianity. And he claimed that He was merely following the same strategy in India. After years of debate, Pope George XB ruled in his favor, allowing him to continue his mission with a few restrictions. Caste-based discrimination in Christianity. You will see today, despite all these deceptive tactics, caste discrimination remains deeply rooted in Christianity in South India. The Supreme Court case mentioned earlier is clear proof of this. What is even more interesting is that the same deceptive tactics are now being used in Jharkhand and Punjab. Same tactics. You can see this in the actions of the recently arrested pastor Baljinder Singh in Punjab, and how innocent Adivasis in Jharkhand are falling for this age-old technique of religious fraud. And the caste census hypocrisy. The young generation, the people of this nation must ask Rahul Gandhi, why so much hypocrisy for caste census? This fraudulent Rahul Gandhi, whose mother is a Christian, doesn't understand the social fabric of this country. Till now he doesn't understand, he will never understand. And yet he clamors for a caste census. Friends, I must say that this is high time that people unite against this caste census fraud of this deceitful Gandhi. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.